Humans are creatures of habit. Our lives consist of a series of routines that we build up gradually. Changing a habit is not an easy task, but if we don't, it often leads to stagnation, even being seen as unmotivated. To improve ourselves, the only way is to change our habits, and the best approach to do this is by replacing an old habit with a new one. This is truly the wisest approach. For example, people who smoke often find it difficult to quit, so some use a fake cigarette to mimic the sensation, gradually substituting it for the real one. I'm not judging whether this method is good or bad, but simply pointing out that it's one way to quit smoking. Of course, the ideal way is to place a pack of your favorite cigarettes where you can see, reach, and smell it but choose not to smoke. This type of self-discipline is admirable, isn't it? Controlling one's desires without succumbing to them requires immense courage and determination. A friend of mine had a father who smoked and often asked my friend to light his cigarettes when he was young, so it was natural that my friend picked up the habit. However, as he grew up, he chose not to smoke because he believed it was both a waste of money and harmful to health. Moreover, with more public places prohibiting smoking, it has become increasingly inconvenient. With these considerations in mind, he completely gave up smoking. No habit should be confronted with a sense of resistance or disgust, rather, it should be respected while finding a better way to replace it. This approach makes change easier. When we're in a bad mood, we often seek people or things to vent to, but this is an ineffective solution. Relying on others to feel better is unrealistic since no one likes being controlled. When the environment around you is filled with people who merely follow orders, it creates a stifling atmosphere that only worsens the problem. It's unwise to shift responsibility onto others. When we criticize others, we should also remind ourselves that we still need to adjust ourselves, only then can we truly progress. Expecting someone to never make excuses or rationalize their actions is unrealistic. We often say that changing ourselves is easier than changing others. Therefore, the best solution is to rely on ourselves rather than on others. Even when Guanyin Bodhisattva recites scriptures, she recites her own. In the same way, we must rely on ourselves to truly achieve something. This is the essence of reciting one's own scripture to be effective. Material and spirit go hand in hand, emphasizing one does not mean disregarding the other. In fact, material things are the manifestation of highly concentrated spiritual energy. We shouldn't fall into the trap of opposing the material and the spiritual, rather, we should understand that the existence of material things is an extension and practice of the spirit. Controlling others is futile. Only when you have strong inner strength can you truly influence others. Real leadership does not rely on authority but on leading by example and influencing others through action. As a parent, if you want to change your child, the most effective method is to change yourself first, setting a good example. Similarly, if a father can't quit smoking, he can be honest with his child about this habit, allowing the child to consider whether or not to follow this path. This is more effective than forcing them to learn. If you're a boss, it's best not to impose your personal hobbies or preferences on your employees, as this only distorts the company's culture. Managers should maintain emotional stability because instability affects the team's atmosphere. If a mother at home is emotionally stable, family life will undoubtedly be harmonious, otherwise, children will lack a sense of security. Therefore, leaders and parents alike should learn to say the right things at the right times, not rush to criticize, as this often yields better results. In today's era, we've entered the 21st century, a new and challenging time. Each of us should consciously work to change our behavior, otherwise, Earth's resources will quickly deplete, and environmental crises will escalate. We must actively develop public transportation and reduce the use of private cars to ease environmental pressures. Everyone should cultivate inspirational influence, setting an example for others rather than forcing them to follow. We need to develop reasonable values, not using power to control others, but influencing them subtly through our actions. In this way, we can create a positive force and collectively build a harmonious society.